So it's here. The finale. Finito. Finished. It's over. You know, this was the only series that I never missed a chapter, that I never had to catch up on. This was the only one. All the other things I read, I always get behind a few chapters here and there, and I have to catch back up. But this one, no. Despite how bad it got, I never lost touch with the series. I knew everything that was happening. I knew the backstage stuff that was happening with it. Hiro Mashima, followed his Twitter, all the announcements. I knew exactly when they dropped. It was this series. And this is a series that got my YouTube channel to where it is now. But I had to put it down as far as reviewing it. I had to put it down. I posted that video about a month ago, 2 months ago. Actually, there was around 10 chapters left. I posted that 2 months ago, and I said I will not review another chapter because Fairy Tail was just in an awful state to where I just couldn't bother talking about it publicly anymore. So I decided not to review it anymore, and I said I would do the very last chapter, and I would give my thoughts on the final chapter and the overall series as a whole. And I must say that in this final chapter, it's everything you would expect from a shonen ending. The ships, which was the biggest part of what people was expecting from the end, they got confirmed pretty much for the most part. It's a lot of like teasing and poking at it instead of actual confirmation. There's Gajeel and Levi, they was confirmed already, but they got even deeper into that with the confirmation of Levi getting being pregnant now, which is awesome. I think that's good. Lucy wrote her book, and it's completed, and it won an award. And Fairy Tail, it's like the first 3 episodes again. I remember watching those first 3 episodes of Fairy Tail and not really enjoying the first one so much, but the second one when they got to the guild and you saw the characters interact and how funny their interactions were and the way their relationships were and how they built from there to where they are now. That was what got me hooked into Fairy Tail, was their interactions with the characters, because I knew that they would grow. That's what stories do. They grow the characters. But at a certain point, Fairy Tail stopped growing them. And I'll get to that later. I'll just stick to the final chapter for now. But the most important ship, at least to me, the Gray and Juvia ship, did it take off? Yeah, sort of. It's like somebody gently pushed the boat. Like they just gently pushed it, Nothing big, nothing major. It was a simple, he drags her outside for comedic relief, and it turns into a sort of sideways asking out. Like if you're nervous, you want to talk to a girl, it's like, and you're sitting there, you're rubbing your face, you're scratching, and you're like, you want to go to the dance? Maybe. You maybe want to go to the dance? Get some punch? And you would dress up with a bow tie and a dress and some glass slippers. It's it's one of those. So when that happened, I was like, okay, you went back a bit with Gray's whole "I'ma take your feelings seriously." He tried, but I think after a statement like that, you would be serious and not be like, yeah, like, I want your body, maybe. That's pretty much what he said. That's not the literal translation, but he was like, your body, and then she asked my body, and then he was like, it's mine, maybe. So, and her eyes glue up with hearts. So pretty much, they was about to bang. That was about to happen. It probably happened right then and well, no, it didn't happen right then and there because of something that happened afterwards. But yeah, that guess that's canon. Evergreen and Elfman is canon. Sort of, again, it's like poking at it. They're not truly shown, but they're canonized to an extent. Loxus and Mara Jane is not canon. Sorry to disappoint you guys. That is a rumor, confirmed rumor in the manga itself. That is hilarious. There's also rumors by him and Lasana and him and Kana. And I actually prefer the Loxus and Kana one the most out of that, because they are like the most grown-up ones. You know, they drink. You know, they engage in adult activities. So I think that's the better one. You know, people for some reason clung on to this idea of Mara Jane and Loxus. I never felt that was a good idea. But Kana and Loxus, after that brief exchange and thinking about their personalities, I think that could work. You know, just got to see which one can outdrink the other. It's just a chapter of ships. Who did I miss? Oh, even Kanana and Cobra got canonized with one sentence. You're like, you have a boyfriend? Yeah, his name's Eric. So that's canon. The one that's going to disappoint everyone is our main characters, Nalu, you know, Natsu and Lucy. That didn't truly get canonized. There's two different translations for what Natsu said back to Lucy. One, he's asking her, what do you want to do from now on? And the other one, he's saying, we'll be together from now on. I don't think either one of those, especially not that first one, canonizes that relationship. It should have been, you know, sunk in. It should have been, you know, you put the nail in the coffin. But Hiramashima didn't do that. Hiramashima loves trolling. It's proven in this chapter he loves trolling. 100% proven. But that's pretty much this chapter in a nutshell. And at the end, they're going on a 100-year quest. Oh, come on. That's not going to happen. You know it's not going to be a 100-year quest. You know, because if that's true, then Gray just left his new waifu behind. You know, because Juvie is not there. So if he's going on a 100-year quest and Juvie is not there, then this dude's Sasuke right now, leaving behind Sakura and his own daughter. And I don't want Gray to be Sasuke. Like, please don't make that happen. So 100-year quest, I don't believe it. I think he's just talking. Like, this is gonna be a long quest, 100-year quest. They'll get it done in 4 days. Don't worry about it. So other than that, as far as my thoughts on Fairy Tail as a whole, and this arc, and all those things, like I said, the first 3 episodes of Fairy Tail hooked me. I immediately fell in love with the show, and then once I caught up to the show, I stopped at the Grand Magic games at first, and then I had to catch up with the manga, and took it from there. And I never, like I said, I never missed a chapter. Never, not once. And I was on top of it every time it came out, just like I'm on top of it right now. And like it brought this channel to where it was. And though now I'm focused in games and movies, I wouldn't be where I'm at without Fairy Tail. But the series took a massive nosedive after the Tenrojima Island arc. Every other arc after that, except for Tartarus, was very disappointing. Characters had reverse development, and they just stopped developing, period. Some didn't develop anymore at all. I'm looking at you, Urza. Others would develop and then revert back, with my own personal favorite character, Gray. He developed so much to where in Tartarus, when he faked that ice shell because he remembered what people told him, don't ever do ice shell again, to come back in the Alvarez War and attempt ice shell again, is reverse character development. That never should have happened. Natsu never had character development from day one. He was always the same Natsu. He may have gotten smarter when it comes to fighting opponents. I don't consider that character development. Lucy, as a character, she developed as far as strength and confidence. So yeah, that counts. And those are our four. Gagio, just outside of the main four, he developed a lot too, but the stories took a nosedive because Hiro Mashima always wanted it to be Supernova Happy Time, which is it's fine if you want a lighthearted series. Every single Marvel movie is lighthearted, but they pull off a majority of them. They have some misses too. But when you're ending a series, you don't want to end on a miss. And that's what Alvarez was. It was a big, big miss. It missed on a lot of levels. A lot of things got taken back. Shelley got her magic back in this final chapter, and that was a big thing that happened. Like it's Makara coming back, the reversing of Zareth and Mavis's death. Well, it's not really reversing; they got reincarnated, but it's still they shouldn't be there. So, Fairy Tail started out very high as a prime shonen, fun shonen. It was never like deep or anything. It's not trying to be Tokyo Ghoul or Parasite or anything like the Parasite's assignment, whatever. But it's not trying to be anything like that. But Fairy Tail, it just kept declining, and it got to the point to where a lot of people, including myself, stopped talking about it. We just stopped talking about it. We said we're done. People changed their entire YouTubes. I at least always talked about games and movies. I just decided to stick with it instead of being mainly Fairy Tail. But Fairy Tail caused them to change everything on their YouTube channel. Like it's not about manga, it's not about anime. It's completely different. And they was reviewing Fairy Tail, and it caused that. A series shouldn't do that. But as I'm talking, and I'm talking in this room like mellow tone, I'm starting to notice how I'm sounding. It's because despite all the garbage that came with Fairy Tail, it's done. And when I think about there's not going to be any more chapters ever of Fairy Tail, it's it's a little depressing at the same time. While it's like I know that this needed to end because it was garbage, it's just horrible. So I understand it needed to go away, but it's like when this is the thing that got you in to anime and manga, and you're seeing it finalize and end, if there's that weird feeling you have where you're like, dang, I don't get to experience that again. It's like that same feeling when you've played a very, very great video game, like Uncharted 4, and then it's over, and you're like, I'll never see Nathan Drake again. Even if Uncharted 4 was to suck, it's like I'll never get to see Nathan Drake again. You can go back and play it, just like you can go back and read it. You can go back and watch Fairy Tail. The anime is coming back next year, but it's not the same as that first time. It cannot match that. So it's it's a weird feeling that hasn't truly sunk in yet. I'm still processing it. I understand the Fairy Tail got horrible, but it was still what got me into this shit. So that's my thoughts on this final chapter. As an epilogue, I guess it's fine. It's okay. It's everything you expected. It's everything you expected. Don't expect anything else. It's everything you expected. Ship's getting confirmed. Pretty much all you need to know. You don't need to know anything else. So that's my final thoughts on the chapter. The series as a whole, I can't give a score to. I don't know. You start high and you end low badly. And I can't give a score to this whole series because I haven't thought about it that much. I just read the final chapter. I'd have to really dive and think about what score I'd give this series as a whole. 545 chapters long. And I just want to thank the people who watched my Fairy Tail reviews and subscribed because of those. If you stuck around, and you're going to continue to stick around with this video game and movie discussions that I've been having. And you are the ones who made the channel. And you're probably still fans of Fairy Tail. And you may not be, because I know a lot of people stopped talking about it. They probably didn't stop reading, but they stopped talking about it. So, this is it for Fairy Tail. There's not going to be a single... Well, when the anime comes back, there's always that consideration of, should I talk about it or whatnot? Or if there's like a video game. If there's a PS4 video game that gets announced, which I hope happens. Freaking Seven Deadly Sins already has a video game coming to PS4. We ain't got one for Fairy Tail. Come on now. Get a Musou game out there. But if that happens, I'm going to talk about that for sure. I'll talk about that for sure. But other than that, this is probably going to be the final Fairy Tail video, at least for a long time. Unless something major gets announced. Live action Hollywood movie. Boy, I'll be all over that because I got the best ideas for a live action Hollywood movie. So if somebody else is jumping on it, I'm going to be highly critical. So that's it for this video. Let me know how you feel about the final chapter. How you feel about Fairy Tail. How you feel in general about all of this. So let me know what you think. To all the Fairy Tail fans, I hope you're all fired up, because it's over. You got to move on to something else. I don't know what Hiro Mashima's doing next, but I guarantee it won't be as happy and go lucky as this, because Rave Master wasn't, and he went happy go lucky with this. I think he's gonna go back to what kind of Rave Master was. Rave Master wasn't dark, but it was, darker than this, which wasn't hard to beat. Hopefully he does something more mature. Maybe he'll do a sign-in. I think that'd be cool. Hiro Mashima in a sign-in where he can go full nudity instead of this that fan service crap. But yeah, see you guys in the next vid.